EchoBase Network. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight at EchoBase TV, where community happens. EchoBase Network. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight at EchoBase TV, where community happens. I think people are starting to catch on, GraphWeb. I think people are starting to get it. About 700,000 people. Yeah. MegaCon. Yeah, Nick and Rissman are there. They're standing in line to go see Manny Jacinto and celebrate the Acolyte. But you know what? The brains and the good-looking ones are still here. How you doing, brother?
What's good with you, Coach?
Man,
glad to hang out with you again, man. It's been a minute.
Just the two of us. Let's go.
Hey,
we're keeping things afloat here. Hadn't made a video in 2 months, but we're still live streaming. The live stream's keeping us alive.
There you
go.
There
Man.
it is, man.
So I actually
So
saw.
wait, Nick and Richmond, they ain't putting in work. They are having a good time out there at MegaCon, getting Manny Jacinto's autograph, all of
That's the
that good stuff.
word.
That's what they doing.
I heard. Rumor is that the only reason Nick and Richmond went was to go see Manny Jacinto.
Hey Manny, can I get one without the shirt? Can
Yeah.
you take the shirt off?
My gosh. And look, what can we call it? Let's see. Manny Jacinto and Risman, Jacintman, like you know how they ship
Oh,
people,
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah,
whole
yeah. I like that. Just Sisman. Yeah,
something.
something like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We could
We'll work
probably
on it.
do something better than that, but I bet the line will be short.
Oh, well, I think he came on late. I was kind of watching somebody's stream or live stream or something, and he showed up late. So yeah, he just literally went on like maybe 15 minutes ago. So yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know if what is there for him to talk about other than the debacle that was the Acolyte. Everybody's going to be asking him, "What do you think?" I mean, it's going to get the same questions over and
Oh,
over
how do
again.
you feel? Because it got canceled.
Yeah,
Which is
yeah.
actually one of our little items that we'll hit eventually
All
tonight.
right.
Which is kind of funny. A lot to talk about, guys. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Derek and I are going to take you through the highs and lows of the week, the past week or two. We definitely want to engage with you in chat. Yes, see, there's confirmation. That's the only reason he's there. 100%. We already knew this. Oh my gosh, I heard Nick and Risk got a room with a double bed. Okay. Anyways, you guys are funny. Thank you for being here. Hello to everybody. We got 117 strong here at the beginning of the show, top of the hour. So we really appreciate it. Real quick, before we get to our opening topics of the night, Scott Westbrook gifted 5 EBN memberships. Thank you so much, Scott, and welcome aboard to the 5 new channel members. We appreciate you very much. Give Scott Westbrook a big thank you. For those free memberships that he paid for. So thank you, Scott, for that, and welcome aboard, guys. Rogue Sarge with a big $20 super chat. He does this to the channels that he is a family member of. He is the man, looking sharp, Bobby. I've been seeing your posts lately, still hitting the gym and hitting the range and doing all your things, man. Keep rolling. We appreciate you very much. And when I go to certain conventions and he's there, I ain't worried about nothing. All right, let's see. Also, when I first saw GraphWeb's traditional hashtag cancel Disney Plus, I looked at it differently for the first time ever. I'm not even making this up.
Yeah.
I saw canceled Disney Plus.
My mind went straight to these. Listen, it's awesome because GraphWeb, you guys said he's the most consistent man on YouTube. Every chat you go to, every live stream somewhere, GraphWeb is popping up with hashtag cancel Disney Plus, and it's dope, and I love it. And it looks like it's catching on because people are canceling Disney Plus in droves. I mean, that's, so GraphWeb, I think you got to take a little credit for that one, bro. I think you can take some credit for that.
He's steering the ship there. Let's just be honest. No one has pushed that more than him. And you see it in every stream. And truth is, I don't watch a whole lot of YouTube anymore. I don't have time right now. I mean, I kind of watch more in the summertime, but this is a busy part of the year for me. But when I do go places, he's there. And he's hashtagging cancel Disney Plus. So yeah, great job, GraphWeb. We actually had that on a T-shirt at one time when we had a store. Maybe we'll have a store again one day for the 4th iteration. I don't know. But GraphWeb, you are the man. Thank you so much. Everybody owes you that. You're just the man. There's just no way around it. So now, Derek, correct me if I'm wrong. I want to say, right after the news dropped, was it not you that posted something on Twitter and you mentioned GraphWeb? Somebody did, and I think it was you.
I know I did. I know I
okay,
I don't know if it was right after, but yeah, I was like, yeah, GraphWeb, that was you. Okay. Yeah. Because it feels like Disney for a long time, they've been touting Disney Plus as some sort of a a great product for themselves, and we all know otherwise. And now, after how long has Disney Plus been around? Like 3 or 4 years, 5 years. Whenever the Mandalorian came out, that's
Exactly. It's been about 4 years ish.
4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Finally, they've ran out of room. They've ran out of rope that they can, keep claiming. Oh, it's growing. Disney Plus is gaining subscribers, and nobody's watching this program. Nobody's watching this platform. They have to do things like, oh, we're gonna give it to a cable service, Charter or Comcast or something, and they'll offer it the ad tiered version for free for all of their folks, and then they add on another 200,000 or 300,000 subscribers or whatever. They've been pulling all of these little shenanigans for a while, but yeah, now they have absolutely lost people because there's nothing on there. There's nothing on Disney Plus worth talking about. Did you ever see that list of shows where they were showing the biggest shows they had for 2024?
Bluey.
Well, no, I'm talking about, excuse me, they're streaming originals. Did you guys see that list? Let me see if I
have not.
Let me see if I can find it. I think
it's going to be atrocious. It's things
here it is,
that didn't even chart on Nielsen.
Oh no, that's the problem, is that they have all of this quote unquote content, and nobody's watching any of it. Yeah, so look, share that. This is what So this is the Disney Plus top 10 shows for 24.
Oh, X-Men 97 was the superior, easily.
But what do you notice? That the first show is what? Percy Jackson in the Olympians?
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was a good show or a bad show or not, but Coach, that's not their biggest property. They have Marvel, they have Star Wars.
You know what that is? That appealed to a particular demographic.
Right.
But that's all. And it was new, and it's the kind of thing that probably is going to lose numbers as it goes.
But everything else, The Acolyte, Agatha, Echo, look, this is all girl boss.
I think this stands to reason.
The ladies and not the guys. These are boy franchises.
Exactly. But Derek, doesn't this stand to reason? Just because there's a number one by Percy Jackson don't mean it's great.
No, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. These shows are not good. With the exception of X-Men 97, which I thought they did a good enough job. I thought Skeleton Crew was okay. It wasn't the worst thing that they've ever done. But everything else on here, look, you got Mandalorian season 1 still in the top 10. Still in the top 10 for last year. That means that this is what people are watching. Mando season 3, these are shows that didn't even come out, right, in 24. And then out of the stuff that came out in 24, Acolyte was number 2. But, I mean, this 200 or 2 million or 2.6, whatever, I think this is 2 billion minutes watched. This is terrible. These are terrible numbers. So that's all I wanted to say, is that this is tragic, because this is what Disney Plus had to rely on to try to boost up its numbers. So you can see why 700,000 people decided, I think I'm done.
Derek, what is your streaming platform of choice?
I watch a lot of Netflix, and
you watch a lot of
anime
Crunchyroll.
guy. I watch a ton of Crunchyroll, but every once in a while I'll jump on to Amazon Prime. To see what's on there. And then Paramount Plus, they have some great shows. I have to get Apple TV back. I have to get Apple TV.
That's the one. I think it is an outlier. It's the most underrated streaming platform. Rissman got me on it, and I'm so glad that he did, because I have not watched a bad show yet. Everything I have watched, and some of the shows, like, I'm catching up. I had never seen For All Mankind. I had never seen Foundation. I watched Severance. I'm watching Severance now. Every show is quality.
Yeah.
It is such a breath of fresh air when you spend the bulk of your entertainment covering the things that we cover here, and we don't enjoy it.
Yep. That's the main problem. Yeah,
and I don't want to cover
exactly.
This channel's not built on. Yeah, this channel's not built on, hey, we want to cover stuff that we hate. It's more, we want to cover stuff and give you our authentic, opinions. So after, by the way, side note, I was getting sick Thursday. I was coughing. I don't know if everybody remembers that. I was not normal. Wife made me go to the doctor Friday morning. I was wearing 2 hoodies. I had chills. Confirmed I was positive with the flu. So I sat home, Derek, for 5 days. My wife, it was prison. I could not leave my office, which is fine. I love my office, but god dang, I want to lay down and watch. I mean, I do have my dad's recliner over here, but okay. I wanted to be able to like chill. It was office and it was spare bedroom. That was it. And if I went anywhere else, I had to disinfect spray everywhere I went. I didn't want to get my wife or kids sick. So here's what I did. This was the best way for me to spend my sickness. Turned my lights down and I made my lights match the screen.
Okay.
And I watched a movie. I pulled the recliner over here. I got my bedspread and covered up in the recliner.
Yeah.
And for 3 days, I watched all 6 original Star Trek movies. And loved
Star Trek?
Yep. And loved every second of it.
Nice.
I couldn't find a show to watch that interested me enough. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go back to something I know that I love. And I'm going to watch Star Trek, the original 6 movies.
Nice. Yeah, I like them. They're cohesive. They all seem like they fit together. And the last one, in the Undiscovered Country, is very underrated. A lot of people give that one. I felt like the Search for Spock was kind of like the for those Star Trek films. But
I thought the 5th was the hardest to watch, even though the end of it
to watch too. Yeah,
the end of it was good when they revealed that that's not God. What does God need with a starship? That's pretty good when they finally got to that part of it. Boy, it took a while to get there.
Yep. But yeah, I love those movies too, man. They're really, really good.
Yep, absolutely. And we want to finish going through here. But anyways, hey, speak of the devil, #cancel Disney Plus. Thank you very much, Graph Web. Keep it rolling, brother. Matt Deween, 700,000 subscribers is enough annual revenue to almost pay for half the Acolyte budget. Yes, indeed, sir. Yes, indeed. Wow. That's a good way to look at it, I guess.
Yep.
Rob Wright, Coach, what are your thoughts on my foolish Mavericks trading Luka? If Anthony Davis stays healthy, then I think it's a good trade. I think the Mavericks might win the whole thing. I think the Lakers are going to implode even worse now because there's not enough basketballs on that team. LeBron can't play without it, and neither can Luka. I don't particularly like Luka.
I was stunned when I heard that. I listen, I'm a Lakers fan. I think it was real. I'm a Lakers fan, and I couldn't believe it. I just found out about that literally like yesterday because I don't keep up with basketball until after the All-Star break because it's just too much, and I'm really not a fan of the way the NBA has changed the game. All the pulling up from 3, everybody's pulling up from 3 every time down the court. It's kind of frustrating. I like old school basketball from the 80s. That's what I prefer. So I just check out until the All-Star break. And then so somebody just walked up to me and said, "Hey, what do you think about the trade?" I was like, "What trade?" I said, Luka for Anthony Davis. And I was like, what? Like my jaw literally just hit the floor. Like, how? Like, how did that happen? But the question is, like you said, can Anthony Davis stay healthy? Because that's the main issue. If he can stay healthy, then that's a solid trade for Dallas for now. I think the Lakers are probably going to be better in the long run because eventually LeBron's going to retire and then it'll be Luka's team. And then I heard they got a big man from Charlotte or somebody they brought over a center.
They did make a trade today.
Yeah. So
I'm not sure who was involved, but there was a trade.
Yeah, they picked up a big man from Charlotte. So we'll see.
Yeah. Not going to spend a whole lot of time on the basketball part, but
since they mentioned it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But it is. I am interested. What's the most entertaining part of it is what is Charles Barkley going to say? That's every time there's news. That's all I want to know. What did Barkley say?
Yeah, exactly.
And normally I agree with whatever he says. It's Usually pretty dang logical. But yeah, I think everything's going to, I think you're going to be happy before it's over, Rob Wright. And this trade was about down the road. How much are they going to have to pay Luka next time when the contract runs out? A max deal, it's going to be $500 million. Wow. You know, they had to get rid of him. And the fact that, you know, he's known for being fat and out of shape, that's eventually going to catch up with him. I don't care how skilled he is. I know it's crazy. He's an unbelievable player. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate that. Good to see you, and hope you have fun at MegaCon. I believe you're there. Matt Cave Gaming, what's up, brother? So many amazing people here. We are, you are, EBN. You're one of those people. Matt Cave is over 20,000 subscribers on his channel now. I remember when he started the channel. Matt Cave, you're always family here. Thank you, bro. Keep rolling and doing your thing. If you want to see some awesome vintage video gaming, go check out the Matt Cave, everybody. He's the best one there is. Mattuine, $2. The power of many unsubscribers. Yes. That is hilarious, Mattuine. Thank you, bro. That is hilarious. Staccato DDS, he's here, folks. And there's more gifted memberships. It's what he does. 10 new EBN members. Guys, please go and thank Staccato DDS, who is a huge supporter of so many of our friends' channels as well as us. So thank you very much. I will never forget, I believe you got 100 one day.
Oh, man. It was 100. Yeah, that guy just came in. Yeah.
And I was typing.
Staccato was a madman.
I think I texted you and said, look at your messages.
Yes, you did.
I'm like,
yes, you did.
You need to see this now. You had missed it. You know,
look, he's royalty so on awesome. My channel, man.
That was a Hall of Fame moment on your channel's history.
I was stunned. I was stunned. You were on that. That's right. You weren't texting me. You were on. That's the one you were on, I believe. You were on. You, Nick.
I think I came on, but then I left, and I was just in here relaxing, doing some stuff, listening to it. The rest of the way.
Okay.
Which you're too late for me, man. Like, I can't do it right now.
For most people, man.
Yeah. It's the West Coast.
All my viewers are in other countries. But you know what? It's fun. No, I'm serious, man. It's like I get a lot of people from England and from Europe and Denmark, you know, Africa, Australia, New Zealand. It's funny.
You have been releasing content at 2, 3, 4 in the morning Central Time for a long time, and that has spread your audience out. I think it was genius. I used to think you were crazy.
I tried different things, man.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, if it works, it works. You just keep going. But I think everybody, especially the EBN family, because, you know, I just crossed 25,000 subs not too long ago. And a lot of that has to do with the Echo Base family really supporting me. So thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah. We're still kicking this horse. Coach says cancel Disney Plus, but still has it himself. Guilty. Hey, I'm not going to lie.
You got to do what you got to do. Family first. I get it. That
$13.99 every month hurts. God dang, how many times you got to say it? We see it.
Hey, look, they've gone up since then, haven't they?
Is it? I thought mine says $13.99.
Okay, maybe you got grandfathered in or something. But yeah, I think it went up to even like $16-17 or something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah. Let's see here. Well, thank you, Staccato DDS. We appreciate it very much, my friend. Ted's Nerd World, Thursday Night Greatness with the EBN family. All of you are awesome. We are, you are. Thank you, brother. Remember, for 49 months. That's when I want to say that's when Mandalorian Season 2 was wrapping, when Ted first came aboard. That was the end of Season 2. And we started memberships and all that kind of stuff. So, Disney Plus has been around, I guess, for about 5-ish years, something like that. But thank you very much, Ted. We appreciate that very much, sir. Matt Rissman, you all need to bounce $9.99. Yep.
What is he talking about? Bounce what?
Oh, the little kid. I said something one day, and Darth Kid had to make a big production out of it that I said, if you don't like what I'm saying, then you can bounce. Well, that's just how I talk, man. That's how I speak. So I will always say bounce. Might be bouncing some people tonight. I don't know. I haven't looked at the chat yet. So, but thanks,
You're
Matt.
not supposed to read the chat, Coach. You're not supposed to read the chat.
Yeah, I do. I read the chat, everybody. If I turn red, you know. Rob Wright, he's back again. $4.99. If Nick and DA got into an arm wrestling match, who would win? DA. Would Nick try the over-the-top move? Yes, he would. Yes, he would. And the DA would not let him do it.
Yeah. I'm wise to those games, Nick. Don't try it, bro.
Yeah. No, Nick would not win.
Don't try it, Nick. I'm
contest.
wise to the games.
Now,
man.
if it was a pie eating contest.
Oh, Nick got that one. 100%. 100%.
What if it was a Waffle House eating contest?
You got that one.
I was so excited.
Look, man, Waffle House was okay. Look, me and Coach had Waffle House. I had Waffle House for the first time when I went to Icon. Yeah. And it was okay. It was like, all right, but it didn't set. It's very greasy. It was greasier than I expected. But it was still good. It was tasty. I enjoyed it. But yeah, you got that all day, Coach. I don't think I can polish off any more Waffle House than you could.
Yep, absolutely. Let's see here. We also got Donna Hergenrether. What is up, Donna? So happy to see you this fine day. Smurf trailer looks stupid. Agreed. But I still have you two have a great stream with a $9.99 super chat. Thank you, Donna. Appreciate that so much. You are the best as well. Love you very much. And we also have, right after Donna, here's Debbie. Gifted 10 EBN memberships. So that's 25 new members already, and we're not even 30 minutes in on the show. So welcome aboard to everybody. If you got one of those 10 memberships, let Debbie know you appreciate that, and welcome aboard, everybody. Hopefully you're not one of the people that I banned and you got a membership. That would be funny. But anyways,
could that happen?
Debbie. It could, if they got banned after the fact.
That's hilarious.
After the fact. Hey, I got an itchy trigger finger. Banjos. All right.
Just got a membership. Chill out for a day.
Yeah,
enjoy your membership for one day.
By the way, did I or did I not say that even though Risman and Nick are gone, the brains and the good-looking people are still here. There he is.
Yeah.
My man, D-Pay. What's good with you,
What
D-Pay?
is up?
Yeah, sorry I'm late. I got pulled into a meeting.
You're good.
We had to talk. We had to have a meeting about a previous meeting where we talked about another meeting about meetings.
Well, that's awful. Meetings about meetings.
Yes.
Lord have mercy. Well, Cincinnati's 5-star barber, my guys, what's up, Coach DA, and now he's going to extend that to the great knee pain as well. Look, I mean, everybody got to know you as knee pain, but you're not really using that all that much anymore.
Nope. Been off working on some other channels on the side and just enjoying it. Not doing too bad either. So, yeah, who knows? I mean, I'm just not really interested in doing anything in the knee pain channel right now.
That's totally, we get it. That happens. We've not, like we were saying, we haven't made a video in, I don't know, 6 weeks or so. Yeah. And that's okay. And look, to be honest, people don't really come here for the pre-made videos anyways. This channel has always been about community and the live streams. That's what the channel is. I'm not saying that we're not going to keep making videos. We will. It's just we're just in the season right now where we're not. So it's okay. So you're keeping your channel and you'll do with it what you will. You know what I mean? You got other things that's on your mind, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But in the meantime, gentlemen, speaking of entertainment, what are our thoughts about this Fantastic Four? There seems to be a lot of good feelings about this film. I have seen so many posts of people saying, I'm taking my dad to this. Fantastic Four was my entry into comics. I did that with my dad. He's going to go watch it with me. This is bringing a lot of people back and generating a little bit of hope for people. And before the trailer came out, I'm not sure I felt any of that. Now I think I kind of do. I hope the film is actually really great, and let's go check it out. What are you guys thinking about this movie? Are you buying or selling it with what we know and what we've seen right now? Derek, we're going to start with you.
So I went live for the trailer when it first dropped on Tuesday. I got up at 3:45 in the morning to watch the trailer. 3:45 a.m.
You knew it was dropping at that time.
It was dropping at 4. It's supposed to drop at 4 a.m. However, after we get to 4 a.m., then we get a 1 hour countdown. I was mad. I was pissed at the 1 hour countdown that it took for them to get to the trailer. So I literally sat on and, we all chopped it up and talked and hung out with the crew and everybody that came in to watch the trailer for the next hour, making small talk and all of that. But eventually I saw the trailer. I think it kind of colored my opinion initially of how I felt about the trailer. I went back and watched it later. It's okay. I'm not angry at the trailer. I think the trailer's fine. I don't think it's better than the Superman trailer. I still think the Superman trailer is slightly better. And I do believe that this is actually going to be a solid movie, but is it going to be a great movie? Is it going to be something that's going to get everybody back on board with the Marvel Cinematic Universe? I doubt it. But I don't like the Things CGI. I think they got to fix that because the Things CGI looked terrible.
His face is wrong.
It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. So I don't like that. And then I think his voice is also kind of wonky. He should have a gravelly voice. They're just using the actor's voice. So I think that that's an issue. And we really didn't get to see much of Mr. Fantastic, obviously, Reed Richards. I still don't buy Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. That hasn't changed. So overall, I think the trailers is about, I said it was a 4 during my live stream. I've elevated it to a 5. It's not terrible, but, I'm not really thrilled about it. More to come. I think this thing has to get better.
Right.
We got to see more on the next trailer.
Nipeng?
So I appreciated some of the design, like the vehicles. I really felt like they were just really going like the comic books kind of feel to that. So I appreciate a lot of the aesthetics. Now, to be honest, there's nothing against really the movie. I used to get excited when I would see, Marvel, like what's next. That currently is not happening. It has nothing to do with the movie. I'm just, as far as Marvel as an IP, I don't feel it anymore when I see that, like, Marvel Studios. I'm like, okay, here we go again. I like a lot of the design, but I will agree with the thing. And the interesting thing, I was talking with some of my friends who, still are ex-visual effects, and they're talking about the thing where they felt like he was maybe done a little on the cheap side. They're trying to save money, is how he's in like full-length sleeves, which everyone is, but I think it's like they're trying to save money on the character visual effects for the his stone face, his features. Are they trying to cheap out on that at all?
Well, we've seen when you get the backlash, the studio goes in and makes those changes before the film releases.
Yeah.
You think that might happen?
Yeah.
The backlash would have to be pretty heavy. Like the thing, you used to be able to see more of his body, right? If I remember right, from the original comics. Wasn't like more of his physique was seen, wasn't hidden by the clothes, if I remember right. I don't remember all the comics, but I seem to remember you could see more. And I think the last movie you could see more of the body. And so it just feels like they're maybe just going about this kind of cheap to make. I don't know. They'd have to get bullied a lot to make a change for something like this. Marvel's not like other studios. I don't think they're going to care about the bowling. I think they've decided on the budget and the timeline for this. Unless Disney said, forced them to, I wouldn't think they would go. Honestly, I'd be skeptical they would go back and make any changes.
They've been really shaky on their special effects lately, man. Marvel has really been shaky on the CGI lately.
Yeah. I mean, they've been going cheap. So, yeah, I've been looking at like old thing art. Yeah, you can see more of his body. So I think that's where, the fans would be like, that's not how he looked. And like the VFX artists would go on, this is the cheapest way they can do the thing. Because they probably don't know. They probably couldn't figure out how to get that stone body right to move right. The cracks and everything. That would be very complicated. So yeah, just pull a mesh jersey over him, or mesh clothes, CG mesh, and run cloth sim, and just work on the face. That's it. So
that's it. Yeah.
That feels like a cost savings thing they did, but I think I like the vehicles. I thought the vehicles looked cool. I sort of half-ass paid attention to the trailer. Again, it's because I'm just a little bit burned out. I hope it does well. You know, see a lot of my friends really worried about their jobs in the industry, the state of the industry.
Yeah.
I would like to see some bangers because I got friends that they're scared to transition out. They don't know what it's going to do next. Definitely some people have work, some don't. They don't know when they can get their next job. They're asking me how it was a transition out. And that's where I would like to see, not just for the sake of, like, I know the fans want good stories, but, you know, to me, at a little bit of a personal level, I see a lot of people's lives being impacted by this, and I know their families.
Yeah.
So
that's a great point. And, you know, we could talk about 700,000 subscribers leaving Disney Plus. Easy. And that's kind of an easy target. We've been, even though I'm a subscriber, okay, everybody, again, we've covered it. But so many people have left that platform. It's just not worth the money. They're not producing things that are drawing people. People are leaving. And we've been saying that before last quarter.
700,000's huge.
It's a lot of people.
Disney. That is a lot of people. If 700 people left Star Wars Theory, he would feel that.
Sure. But my question is, shout out to Star Wars Theory, though. He's been killing it lately. One thing about that is, do we know what type of growth or decline other streaming platforms have had? Because and it's easy. Obviously, more people are going to be leaving Disney, I would say, of all the streaming platforms. But is this really a period of growth for any of them? I don't know.
Yeah, because this is post-holiday, right? Everyone's back from the holidays. Maybe they had it over the holidays so kids watch something when they're back, you know, over the break. And now the breaks are over. Everyone's going back to life. We're kind of going the slow time right now. There's not a lot of holidays, not a lot of really lot going on. People are, I think, a little bit broke after the holidays. Maybe they're just trying to, like, free up some money. So it could be hitting everyone. So, yeah, to be fair, what's everyone else's numbers look like? That's still big, but yeah.
Sure. So, you know what? And you just said something that made me realize. Before I watched the 6 Star Trek movies, DA, when I had the flu, I watched a movie that I had not seen that was new. Speaking of Pedro Pascal, I watched Gladiator 2.
Oh, okay. What'd you think?
Not nearly as good as the first. I think that it tried to make connections to the first. It tried to make connections to the first so hard that it was a distraction and it felt out of place at times.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like it was a reach. It was too much of a reach. Too
And
much time had passed for them to make those kind of for any kid or any grown man to be sitting there thinking about, speak to me, Father. I talked to you for 4 minutes in my entire life. And you've been dead for 20-something years.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there meditating, wanting to hear from you from the great beyond. That's just dumb.
Good point. Yeah. No, I thought that they tried too hard, like you said, to connect it to the original, because that's where all the emotion and everything came from. It came from all of the, you know, the what do they call those shots where you're looking back what are those called? What's the word? Somebody help me out. When you're flashbacks. Thank you.
Yeah.
All the little flashbacks that they kept showing to Gladiator. That's where all of the emotional resonance for this film was. In the film, like the actual present tense time, there was nothing there. I didn't care about either of those two emperors. I thought that they were just a sideshow and it was just something for laughs. Like that was your comedy relief, so to speak. You know, Connie Nielsen did okay. I think Denzel was fine. You know, I heard a lot of people ragging Denzel for his performance. He was all right. But
he gave a great performance.
Yeah, he was fine.
I was a little disappointed to see him be the bad guy. You know,
I thought, hey, listen, it was fine by me. You know, you remember him from Training Day. He's
yes,
he does a great bad guy when he's a bad guy.
He does. Man. He does a great whatever he does.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
he does. He does.
he
But yeah, I
sells
mean,
it.
his performance just wasn't enough to, bring that movie home for me. I thought it was a really disappointing film.
Oh, come on, Tatooine. That has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Don't you bring
tell you.
real Star Wars into this conversation.
I will say, DA, for being 70 years old, Denzel still got a lot of energy on screen.
Yeah, man. Yeah. No, he's
Not
good.
that I
Man.
like-
He's a great actor. He's going to go down as one of
I
the
didn't
greatest
realize he was
actors of
70
all
until
time.
recently. I'm like, oh, man, that hurt. I didn't know that.
When you start getting up there, you seeing guys at 70 getting up and getting it in. It's like, whoo. I
Yeah.
need to do better.
Hey, the oh my gosh, what's the name of the trilogy that he made? Oh shoot.
What? The Equalizer?
Yes, thank God. Just
Oh,
brain
okay.
fart. Great set of movies there.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's worth watching every year. Going through
Yeah.
all three of those.
Oh yeah, I was surprised the last one was better than I thought they were just going to phone it in. It was just going to be some, just whatever action. It was a really, really good movie.
Yeah, it was. They're good. They are
Yeah.
good for sure.
So between this movie and then you got Jurassic World Rebirth
Superman.
and then Superman all coming out in July.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to see them all? Are you? What do you got? Who do you think's going to take July? Which one of those wins in the box office?
Ooh, you're saying which one takes it in terms of total box office?
Yeah,
Like gross?
yeah.
Oh man, that is really hard to predict. I think that Fantastic Four is going to be too outdated. Younger kids aren't going to know anything about it. It's definitely going to be a draw for our generation and up.
Yeah.
I think Superman is going to easily be a bigger box office success than Fantastic Four, if I had to guess. It might not be a better movie,
Okay.
but it'll have a bigger draw. I think Jurassic Park is going to be more of a appeal across the board.
Yeah.
It's probably the movie that families will go see.
Yep. I said the exact same thing. My co-host Uncle T, he hates all of these movies. He thinks it's the worst thing ever. All right, the Jurassic World.
The
series.
whole month is awful.
Oh no,
Oh,
no,
just hates the Jurassic Park. Got you.
Well, he doesn't believe in dinosaurs. He thinks dinosaurs are fake.
Oh.
So we get into these conversations all the time. Knee-Pain knows. He watches. We get into these insane flat Earth and no dinosaurs.
I kept saying he
over there.
should start his own channel and call it Teed Off because he just goes off.
But I said there's no Jurassic World has got this thing beat because all of these movies make $1 billion. The families come out and watch. Kids love dinosaurs. Even if they're scary dinosaurs eating people, kids love the dinosaurs. So yeah, I think Jurassic World is going to crush it. I think Superman comes in second and Fantastic Four third. So that's where I think.
That's my prediction as well.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
I
knew I
mean,
liked
it's think about it. It's got dinosaurs for the kids and Scarlett Johansson for the guys.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You know,
Yeah,
and for everyone else, it's just got guns. I think it's going to be a popcorn movie. It's probably going to be fun, actually. Honestly, I mean, I think it's kind of predictable, the plot, in my opinion. That's why the Jurassic movies have gone as of late.
Yeah.
But honestly, I didn't mind the trailer, and I can see how it probably could do very well.
It's
I think
the
they
same
got-
story over and over too.
Oh, it is. Got to go back to Island for whatever reason, and then things
Yeah.
go south, and half the people die, and yeah.
Every one of
And
those
it's
movies
trying to
is
survive
they're
and
all
get
the
off the
same.
island. That's literally every Jurassic Park.
It's
Exactly.
like, well, stop going to the dang island. Find a different way.
Every single one of them, and like in most cases, nothing's better than the original.
No.
Oh yeah, no way.
Well,
Yeah,
because the
original's
original
amazing.
has a iconic moment, which is when you were sitting in the theater and the cameras panned over and you saw the brontosauruses and we all dropped. That's the
Yeah.
thing about the movies that are missing these days is they're not iconic. They don't have anything iconic. Even I said something about this on Twitter one time. Star Wars, what's missing is iconic. Okay, the past since Disney Star Wars, quotes in Star Wars that are iconic that we aren't making fun of. I can't think of any. Now, there's plenty of quotes we're making fun of. the power of many, somehow Palpatine returned, but is there really any iconic quotes? No, there isn't. Is there really any iconic scores, soundtracks, music? I mean,
come on, man. The Book of Boba Fett theme was iconic.
Here's the thing. I guarantee more people will recognize the first few notes of the Tokyo Drift theme song than they will anything from recent Star Wars. That dent. You know what I'm talking about, DA. You're nodding your head. You know exactly the little song I'm talking about from Tokyo Drift. Tokyo Drift is more iconic than the latest Star Wars. So that's what a lot of these are missing. They don't have that iconic hook where the quotes, the sounds, the songs. It's just nothing iconic, nothing that just lives on in memory.
Yeah. Yep. I'm with you. So, one of the things that we talked about last week a lot, and it was just myself and Nick and Risman, we talked about how, we went through movie after movie. I can't even remember every movie, but the Never-Ending Story's getting a new movie. We talked about, oh my gosh, what else is getting a new movie? Like there's so many, a new Gremlins. Gremlins 3 has been greenlit. Yep. I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but it's been greenlit and they're working on it.
Apparently the director said he wasn't going to use CGI for the Gremlins, which that'd be cool, I guess. But still, nice. Who asked for it?
That would be cool.
But this, I thought, was freaking hilarious. One of the producers and original makers of the trilogy, the Back to the Future trilogy, the whole thing, not Robert Zemeckis, but somebody that was on board with him, they asked him about a Back to the Future 4, and people have been asking him for years, and he literally said, F you. We're not doing it. It's never going to happen. Back to the Future is a trilogy, and that's it. Stop asking. And I was like, man, how awesome is that?
We need more of these guys to do that. Stop selling out our childhoods and stop selling out those original great movies. Just let them stay great back in the past and force these Hollywood clowns to create something new. Because that's the biggest problem is Hollywood doesn't create anymore. All they want to do is go back to the 80s and the 90s and copy off of what was done back then. Thank you. I love this guy just for saying that. I would have said the exact same thing.
Yep. I love it. It was a breath of fresh air, and I wanted to bring that in here just to kind of show that. Let's see. Cincinnati's 5-star Bobber. My guys, what's up, Coach and DA? Thank you, brother. Good to see you. Glad you are here. Staccato DDS with a $10 super chat. He says, there's a lot of hopium for Fantastic Four. Most people seem to be trying hard to find a reason to like it. Yeah, I think that Venger said it pretty well in chat a few minutes back. The key is how well they could pull off the villain. If they can make Galactus appealing to the audience, then it could be a really great film. But if that goes flat, then the movie's going to bomb. It has to have a good villain to bring you in. And I'm going to be honest, man, I am tired of Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
I'm tired of him.
He's overexposed. He's way overexposed. He's been in way too many things.
He's dang near turned into The Rock.
Was it Zendaya or whatever?
All right, hey, coach, he ain't that bad, man. He ain't that bad.
I hear you.
But no, he's in every major franchise. You're right. It's kind of tired of him now.
It's tiring. Yeah, come on, Hollywood, find somebody else. There's plenty of people that could do it. Debbie Young, 47 months. Not to be a Debbie Downer. See what you did there, Debbie. But look for the next year to be like post-COVID in movie production. The LA fires are going to put movie production at least 60% or more behind schedule. They have warned theaters already. And Debbie does work at a theater. So she would know. We'll have to watch that. Very, very interesting. Hey, they could still use the volume. Maybe, I don't know. But it's definitely going to have some type of impact. You're 100% right, Debbie. And we'll be watching that. But another movie. Speaking of sequels. Got to do this with Derek here. Goonies Part 2. apparently we're talking about something that they are looking into. The project has been greenlit. Are they? And Sean Astin just spoke about it the other day, saying that none of us are too old. We're all still able to do this. So if you're going to do it, bring us all back.
Why?
Now,
No. This guy.
Ke Huy Quan in this new movie, this action movie, Love Hurts. I'm going to watch this movie just because he's the star. He's fantastic.
I like him, man. Yeah, I like him. I wish they had kept him around and let him, be short round and put him in the Indiana Jones spinoff, and they could have had a nice series with him if they, had brought him in during the Dial of Destiny. But I think that ship has sailed. But that would have been great, man, if they brought him in and kind of let him reprise short round, and he kind of takes up the whip or the jacket or whatever you will from Indiana Jones. I thought that would have been dope.
So here's the question. I completely agree with you. Mm-hmm. I would still love to see him portray Short Round and him go off on his own archaeological adventure using the things that Indiana Jones taught him.
Exactly.
He's not as good as Indy, but he's still good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And give him a movie. Yeah. The problem is the movie loses its appeal or its magic if you can't even give us one scene with the two of them. You got to give us something.
Even if it's Indiana Jones showing up at the end just to, hey, Shorty, good job. And then just, that's it. That's something, you got to give us a scene like that because, we didn't get what we wanted with Star Wars, right? The 3 back on the ship, back on the Millennium Falcon. That's all we needed. They could have did anything else with the series after that. We would have been like, cool, we got one more moment with Han, Luke, and Leia back on the Falcon, Chewie, Lando, whoever, all back together, one last shot. So, yeah, you would absolutely have to do that if you did decide to go back to Short Round.
I had an idea, which it should have been, they've been out of touch for decades. Mm-hmm. And Indy's sitting there retired, and a lady with a little girl shows up, said, hey, I don't know if you could help me. My husband used to work with you. He's an archaeologist. And he's like, I'm retired. And she's like, well, who's your husband? Well, Dr. Wan Lee. Oh, I don't know Dr. Wan Lee. Like, well, he really knew you, right? And so she's like, well, he's really close. So Indy being a good guy, he's like, well, maybe I get in touch with somebody. He sees a little girl holding something. And he's like, hey, well, what do you have? And looks in at Short Round's hat. And he's like, where'd you get that? And she shows him a picture, and he realizes Dr. Wan Lee is Short Round.
Short Round.
And it goes off to help rescue. And it could take place 1960s. I think that the time frame in the universe would line up with the actual aging. So he has to go because I had this idea in my head, he's going into Vietnam, early days of Vietnam, to help find, Short Round. And he's riding a helicopter, and his son Mutt, because I always thought how do you pay some credit to Mutt? Well, maybe Mutt got shit together, enlisted in the army during Vietnam or joined. I had this picture in my mind of Mutt as the Huey pilot flying, and he's helping his dad. His dad's in the back, and they start playing that. What's that song that I always play for Vietnam movies? It's a cliche.
CCR.
The CCR Revival. Song. Yeah,
it ain't me.
Yeah. It ain't me. They start playing it, and then
Fortunate Son,
and then Indy's all turn that shit off. I don't like that new music, right? Because a lot of people joke that song's overused, right? I think you could have a lot of great moments of something like that, and the fans would have lined up for that. And then that moment they're reunited, and he helps save Short Round, and then he goes back to retirement. That's when he kind of hands off Short Round. That way he can hand it off. He's not handing it off to Mutt, because Mutt didn't follow his footsteps. Mutt became a helicopter pilot. Yeah. He didn't kill him off like they did in the other movie, right? Mm-hmm. You could have done some credit for that, give him a good role. I thought there was a lot of potential in that kind of idea.
That would have been fun. That would have been a lot better than what they gave us, man. That sounds great.
Yeah.
You were Nick over there. Still... Knee pain. You were there. You should have said, "Hey, guys, I got an idea."
Oh yeah.
I told
I'm sure they would have loved that.
Yeah, I tell people I have ideas. No one cared what I thought.
Go in there and make a video. Shut up.
Get back to work. Quit around.
Go write some code. You're useless. We don't care about you. Yeah.
Well, all right. So speaking of Lucasfilm, Got to go here. Derek, I think this is what you were alluding to when you sent me a message earlier. Rain Roberts is no longer the vice president of film development. Now, my question is this. We're talking about at Lucasfilm. Now, all of a sudden, Derek Hoffman is there. He produced, along with other people, every X-Men movie that we've gotten under Fox's banner. Now, some of those were pretty good. Not all of them. Some of them are pretty horrible. Okay? So let's not act like he's the gold standard of film production.
Well, unlike Rain Roberts, he's actually got experience.
True.
Those last
this is true.
That was a nepotism hire from hell.
Yeah.
Well, so my question is, there's an awful lot of comments and articles out there and people talking. They're all saying that this is a sign of the changing times at Lucasfilm. There's brighter moments on the horizon. Star Wars might be heading in a better direction now because of this. And what I'm saying is, I need way more than this. This is nothing. You two gentlemen may disagree with me. New Lucasfilm era takes shape with major leadership change. That's clickbait, 100%. I don't buy that. It's not getting better until it's actually getting better. This is just nothing.
Yep. I'm going to go on a quick vent that, okay, like, why didn't this happen sooner? I mean, people have been asking since Rain Roberts and was it Kiri Hart who left a while back were hired there, and people, and even some of the current ones. I think it was that I saw articles around on Carrie Beck. People are like, look at their experience. How did they end up in their roles? They had, the true definition of nepotism hires, complete nobodies, didn't work anywhere else, and boom, VPs.
Right.
So this is long overdue. Yeah, I'm checking right now. Rain's photo's not even on the leadership page anymore.
Oh, she left and went to a different studio completely. She's no longer at Disney.
Yeah. Left or removed, who knows?
I mean, like you said, man, until they actually change.
Yeah.
Look, it starts with Kathleen Kennedy. Honestly, they need a full, head to toe sweep and cleaning out of the entire Lucasfilm staff. It doesn't matter if they change one person. Is it a positive sign? I guess it's better than nothing, but it's not going to change anything. Nothing will change over there until they get rid of everybody. If it comes under Kathleen, in my opinion, it didn't matter. And
it's
I'm
like
not
walk out my
to,
backyard and I pulled one weed. Yeah, I still have other weeds.
Right, exactly. Like there's a major problem with the entire company. It isn't just one thing that was wrong. Everything else was working. Just this one little piece was, kind of messed up. They got to get, and listen, he's in charge of, I think, developing live action shows and everything. And yeah, he might be a little bit better, but honestly, the problem is with the storytelling. That's the problem. It's the storytelling. That's the main issue. And until you get Kathleen out of there, I don't think that changes. So I don't care if this guy is in. I like the fact that Kathleen is starting to get awarded various, little fake awards. Everybody's handing her, she's going to get awarded by the cinematographers. They're giving her an award, and then somebody else is giving her an award. It's like, oh, okay, maybe everybody's giving her flowers. Maybe she's on her way out the door. I'm not going to believe any of this until I see Kathleen Kennedy has left Lucasfilm. Once I see that, then I know things are turning around. Because she has absolutely done a terrible job, running this entire company.
I'm looking at his IMDb. Like, has he had any real wins for us to get excited about?
I mean, I really liked Days of Future Past.
I saw the same article you saw, Coach. I didn't think there was he did some X-Men films.
That's it.
There's a lot more involved.
Yeah,
it's not like he was the brainchild.
There was a show that he did.
He was an associate producer on Days of Future Past.
Yeah,
so,
and then he did. I think the what was that one show? Yeah, he did it.
What was for all we know, he could have been ordering the coffee for people.
Yeah,
like we don't know what he did. But it's probably better than Rain Roberts.
Yes, I mean you don't have to work too hard to upgrade from that. But honestly.
Yeah, so you still got Charmin Obaid-Chinoy connected to the Rey movie. They got a new writer for that. Did you see the information on the new writer and the stuff that he was saying?
That's what's next.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. Yeah. So I'll wait for that. But
We're headed there next. So you know how when Lucasfilm makes these positions, these transfers, or like when Dave Filoni was given his new position, it was never in the news. All of a sudden, it's just on the website. And if you're not going and looking at the website, you're not seeing, and lo and behold, Disney eventually comes out and says, "Oh, he's had that position forever. We just didn't have it on the site." Dave's been in that role. My question is, for somebody that used to work there, knee pain. Does everybody at Lucasfilm know that Rain Roberts no longer works there and that this guy has taken over since this is new news?
I don't know. This is actually the first I've heard about that. I didn't know Rain left.
I mean, are y'all walking in there with like an Egg McMuffin going, who's here today?
I don't know. I think the only thing I would have noticed, because I used to work on the same floor, so I just kind of wonder, I haven't seen her walking around drinking coffee lately.
Right.
That's.
I hear you. All right. Well, look, DA just mentioned it. Yes, the fourth or fifth writer for this project is now telling us.
Writer number 4.
Writer number 4. Writer number 4 for Shomin Obaid Chinoy and the Daisy Ridley film. And he is now letting us know about the role of politics as far as he's concerned with Star Wars. I think that could be an interesting conversation with fans, because some people really get on the Star Wars has always been about politics. Okay. And then they stop, and I'm like, wait, well, why are you not mentioning everything else Star Wars has always been about? What, people kind of transform Star Wars into being what they need it to be, instead of seeing it for everything that it is. I did a video years ago about the influences of George Lucas. Politics in Vietnam were only like one slice of the pie. That was it. And there were other things involved, such as the Knights Templar. You got the samurai aspect. There's all kinds of things. So anyways, looking at his comment here, this is the writer. Let me make this a little bit bigger so everybody can see it. The way I approach it is, you look at what's come before you. You look at the broad ideas of what they want to do, meaning Lucasfilm, Disney, Shomin Obaid Chinoy, the director, and then you do what a writer does and try and put beats of a story together. Try and imagine characters. And then you present that with an understanding that it needs to honor, obviously, a long, incredible tradition. Okay, all right, so far, okay. And then he goes here. If you think about George Lucas, the 6 movies that he did, George Lucas only did 3. If you think about George Lucas and the 6 movies that he did and the universe that he created, it's actually very steeped in broad notions of politics. I won't disagree. It's there, especially with the prequels. The prequels more. Absolutely. Way more than the original trilogy. It's not talking about today per se, he says. But there's the empire, Nazism / Roman Empire, the democracy of the Roman Empire collapsing and becoming an empire, and the perennial story of human beings organizing themselves and against chaos, and then the tools that help human societies tamp down on chaos becomes oppression. So that is really the very core to what I think George Lucas was trying to talk about. This is where I disagree. I wouldn't say that's the core. That could be somewhat of an alarm there. And one of the wonderful things about science fiction in Star Wars, which is more almost science fantasy or space opera, it's almost like he's just talking about things that he's read on Reddit, is what you can raise the deepest issues without it feeling like a philosophy class or a political science class or something I read in the newspaper today. This is gobbledygook non-speak right here. This almost sounds like Kathleen Kennedy talking. That's just my opinion. Gentlemen, what are you thinking about this director and his comments, the role of politics? Are they about to try to tell us their political message all over again? Is he laying that? Is this some type of foreseeability here? This is where we're headed? We're about to get this.
I have a feeling that's exactly that's what scared me about it. That's why I wanted to talk about it. The way he's discussing this, it's almost like he's like hinting at what is about to come, and it's about to be a whole lot of political nonsense. And he's going to try to hide it. He's going to try to, maybe he's going to layer. Maybe he's a good writer. I don't think the stuff that he's made. I think Ocean's 12, right, and then The Bourne Ultimatum. They're okay movies. They're nothing to write home about. Definitely not the best in their respective franchises. But it sounds like he's ready to start going hard into the politics, and he's giving himself a reason to do so. Oh, George Lucas was all about the politics. This is what George Lucas did. That was the core of what Joe. It's like, no, it wasn't. That's not what it was at all. But that's what he is seeing out of it. It's kind of like Ryan Johnson all over again. He's seeing what he wants to see out of Star Wars and not what the vast, vast, vast majority of audiences and fans have loved for over 40 years have seen out of Star Wars. And so he's going to do what he wants to do. That's exactly how this feels. And it's probably Kathleen Kennedy that's, at the controls, driving him to say all of this because he's the fourth writer. So the previous three writers couldn't crack the code of whatever it is that Kathleen wants to do with this Rey character, whatever Charmin Obaid-Chinoy wants to do with this character, a character that nobody cares about also. So, yeah, they're going to go hard into some sort of a political angle. And then they're going to say, yeah, but see, George Lucas has always been about politics. So, yeah, I see nothing but trouble on the horizon for this entire project.
None of the other writers, Derek, to my memory, never said a word about government and politics. Nothing. No. And then here's the new guy.
Yep. So, he's given Kathleen what Kathleen wants. This is his biggest project. He's never had anything bigger than this. The other writers, I think it was what's the name of the guy that was writing with Justin Britt Gibson? Why can't I remember Justin Britt
Ginsburg?
Gibson? No. Wait, was it?
I can't remember.
Anyway, that guy. He's a J.J. Abrams clone. Shoot, it's going to hit somebody in the chat's going to give it.
I thought it was Simon Kinberg, but I don't know.
Was it Simon? Okay, maybe it was. But him and then obviously Stephen Knight. He has Peaky Blinders. So these guys are like veteran writers. They know what's up. They didn't. It's clear that Kathleen wants something that these guys couldn't deliver. And so now this fourth guy comes along and he's going to give her everything that she wants. He's going to, hey, what do you want, my queen? I got you covered. He is going to bend the knee and give her exactly the script that she's looking for. And he's going to bend over backwards to do it. He's not going to write anything that he wants to write that's faithful. All of that gobbledygook that you were saying at the beginning, I don't believe it. I don't believe he's doing that at all. I don't think he's searching the characters and trying to find something that works. He's writing what Kathleen wants him to write. And she has an idea. And listen, Kathleen is a terrible storyteller. If the last, 12 years or 13 years of Star Wars has given us any indication, she's a terrible storyteller. You need a storyteller, you need a writer, you need people that understand the franchise, and that's what we don't have.
The stuff that he's saying right now, it's either meaningless or it's an alarm. But it's
Lindelof,
definitely Lindelof. That's, you know what? That's whose image was in my head. Okay. But I was saying Simon Kinberg.
Yeah.
But that's who I was seeing in my mind.
Yeah.
Little bald-headed guy with glasses. Anyways, this writer, there's definitely some reason for alarm here. But look at what he said in 2012. Do you know this, Derek?
Nope.
Listen to these words. And I'm not trying to say, hey, all is well, everything's good, but I do think it's interesting. In 2012, before The Force Awakens released, here is what this man said. I cannot imagine a larger event film for our generation than a sequel to Return of the Jedi. And then he said, Star Wars literally defined the magic of movies to me as a child. No other film had more impact on my subconscious desire to be a filmmaker. That's somebody that pulls it off for me. The guy loves Star Wars. But it's like you read these comments now and it's like, this is like him with KK on his shoulder.
Yeah, and see, this is the thing, Coach. This is what tells me that this guy is going to. He doesn't want to get fired from this. He's 3 previous writers have left the project. If he loves Star Wars this much, he does not want to get fired from this. He wants to make sure that his script is the script that makes it across the finish line.
Politics, modern day messaging.
What else? Kath, come on. Anything else you got for me, Kathleen? All right. Oh, put a chick in it, make her lame and gay. You got it. All right. I'm on it. No problem, Kathleen. We're getting it all in. Everything that Kathleen wants, Kathleen will absolutely get from this guy. He's not pushing back at all. All right. He is not pushing back whatsoever. So yeah, that's what it's going to be, man. I'm telling you. I'm absolutely telling you. I'll be right back, Coach. I'll be right back.
Okay. Dang, DA gets around first time here. So hell y'all and subbed. If you like the DA, I like you. Appreciate it, brother. DA is our brother. DA is he's family here. Knee Pain, what are your thoughts here, man? Like this guy definitely comes across as an original trilogy fan, just like the 3 of us. You can't say Star Wars doesn't have politics in it. I mean, to be honest, there was so much political intrigue and everything going on, the geopolitics of the prequel trilogy. It was to me, it was a distraction to the movies. That's one of them. They went so overboard on it. That's one of the reasons why it didn't even really feel like Star Wars when I first saw it.
Yeah,
it definitely was a different flavor.
Yeah, I think you can go overboard on it. It definitely felt like the driving theme behind a lot of the writing. Everything come from a political. Even it wasn't at the time maybe politics that aligned to politics of our world. Now that's one thing. If it was mirroring what was happening in our world, that would have not gone over good. That's a big thing. Is if you have anything political in a movie, right? I get it. Any kind of civilization is going to have some sort of politics. Totally get it. Just don't have it mirror what's going on in our world, because that's not going to feel like Star Wars. It's not going to feel like a universe far, far away, given their own problems, their own conflicts. And I'm just kind of worried that, with the election going the way it did, they're going to try to mirror modern day events, anything going on in this movie.
Mm-hmm. Now I saw that KK and her husband are up for some type of award. And then you start hearing the rumors again. Maybe this is it. Maybe they're going to accept their award and let everybody know they're retiring and moving on.
Take your participation trophy and go.
Oh, please. Yes. Leave. You've done enough. Okay, you've done enough.
Well, if there's a Goonies 2 coming, ladies and gentlemen, Kathleen Kennedy is going to be serving the coffee. Like, let's just get ready.
I did find it interesting. This guy did work. He started under Richard Donner. That's where he began his career in Hollywood, under Richard Donner. So I was like, all right, well, you started in a good spot.
Well,
I don't know if you're ending in a good spot.
How many times have we heard Daisy Ridley say something to the effect of, I don't really know. We're still working on it, but we're going to find out very soon. And then it's like, no, you just hired your 4th writer. And
this is what I find interesting.
You're starting from ground zero.
It's not uncommon for movies the stories to be worked on for years and years and years.
Mm-hmm.
But until you know what's going to be, don't announce it.
Oh, agreed.
They dragged her out to Celebration. Like, she was the only person there were the 3 filmmakers, right? Charmin, Dave Filoni, and James Mangold. She was the only actor that came out on stage and said, I got a movie coming out. And I was like, oh, well, her movie must be next. And since then, the Mando and Grogu leapfrogged that movie, right?
Yeah.
And then we got the Sean Levy movie that I think is probably going to be the next one that they're going to put into production. Mm-hmm. That one's leapfrogged her. They still don't have a script, and they've been trying for 3 years.
By the way, there were 2 channels in the world that was telling everybody the Daisy Ridley movie's about to be announced. Get ready. And it was WDW Pro, and it was Echo Base Network.
Yeah.
And that was it. We were the only 2 channels in the world that was letting you guys know, here it comes. And when she walked out there on stage, we weren't surprised. We were laughing. And then I made a video about how you could hear the crickets. Because they thought that was going to be like the big, Daisy Ridley. Nobody cares. Is
And nobody
Oscar
still
Isaac's
cares.
going to Celebration? Is he going to be in this movie? Who cares? I hope not. I like Oscar Isaac. He won me over in Dune, but I don't want to see Poe Dameron ever. Why would you want to bring those feelings back up? You know, worst trilogy imaginable.
You're going to get more reaction if you just drive an R2D2 bot on stage. Honestly, that's about the only character you're going to bring out people actually cheer for. That character hasn't been on Twitter acting like an idiot.
I mean, you can't even make a solid show with Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor, who are both still able to perform those characters. You just did a show where you brought those guys back and you couldn't pull it off.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see this. And here's the thing. Do we really think that, I mean, just because they're talking about this movie does not mean it is ever going to happen. We may never see this Daisy Ridley movie. This guy might be writing a story that's never going to happen.
Yep. My opinion, just stop the movies. Stop the TV shows.
Yeah, Sterling. I saw that clip of Daisy Ridley appearing on stage. Didn't the applause seem underwhelming? I made a video covering that, and I think it had like 250,000 views in 2 days. Everybody was watching that clip because she walks out on stage and very few people were clapping and cheering. It was
that's
like
that's got
they
to be
weren't
kind of
shocked. They weren't going.
Yeah.
Nobody. It's like, huh?
And that's set at two levels. Obviously, for the franchise, it shows that no one's excited about the character. Then I kind of feel, imagine that if you were in Daisy's shoes walking out and you heard that silence, but you smile, pretend. I'm sure she's well aware.
Yeah.
That's got to be absolutely nerve-wracking.
Right. Go to see the last time George Lucas walked out at Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah.
Or when Mark Hamill first walked out with The Force Awakens.
Honestly, I think I'm not best could walk out and people would cheer and go nuts. I think people would do it over Jake Lloyd right now. Everyone excited when Jake Lloyd was announced he's come out of the hospital and he was doing better. Everyone on Twitter was like, oh my gosh, Jake's so glad to hear, right?
You know, and that says something. The thing is that the Star Wars fandom gets a bad rap.
Yeah.
From media and people on social media. The Star Wars fandom is full of a lot better people than they would have you believe. If if Jake Lloyd walked out on stage, I would be clapping, and I don't even like the Phantom Menace.
Yep.
But I'm for him.
Yep.
I've never been against him, but so many people assume and they just know that I am, and they couldn't be more wrong. And I'm not a fan of the prequels. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that everything George Lucas has ever done is perfect. Like a bunch of people who have blinders on. It's not. George Lucas had a fantastic team behind him during the original trilogy, especially with the first movie. It's been well documented. You know, would The Empire Strikes Back be what it is without Irvin Kershner? Probably not.
No.
Probably. I'm glad George Lucas didn't direct it. You know, I don't know.
Yeah,
I could go on and on.
Lawrence Kasdan wrote the script. Great screenwriter, wrote the script. You had like actual talent instead of George Lucas trying to do it all on his own. You had actual talent surrounding it. You saw George Lucas on full display in the prequels. And listen, I always said this. George Lucas has great ideas. He just needs people to kind of help fine tune those ideas and refine those ideas. And where he starts getting a little excessive, kind of rein them in. If he had that during the prequels, I think the prequels would have outdone the original trilogy. But because it was just George, you know, and the prequels are the prequels.
Well, George made it about something that he didn't need to make it about. He made it about technology. He waited till the CGI was available for him to do what he wanted.
Yeah.
To push the industry instead of making a great movie.
Yeah.
And he made a CGI mess
They tried redoing shots of the original trilogy, and that Jabba the Hutt was awful. Absolutely
Awful.
terrible.
Oh, the special edition is a sin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hey, props to George Lucas. He had the right to do it. It was his creation. If you want to go back, but let's just be honest too. Those shots, they weren't a whole lot. We're talking about like 7 or 8 scenes in the movies.
Oh yeah.
That didn't take all that much work. Now, Nipain knows way more about it than I do. I'm just saying that was a way to finance the forthcoming prequels. That's what that was. And I'm going to say I didn't get to make them the way that I wanted to make them, so now I'm going to make them like my original vision because the technology's caught up. You're financing a new trilogy. That's what you're doing. And it was a genius thing to do. He's a genius at making the money. There's no doubt about that. But let's not forget that's what it was about.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was a minimal amount of work. And I think they color graded the other shots, right? They changed the grading, made it a little bit different. I heard though they kind of threw up because they added the shots, they threw up the music cues in some of the battle sequences, I believe. Wasn't that one of the issues? I seem to recall that.
I don't even remember, but the whole Darth Vader yelling no in the Blu-ray edition, Han shooting first. Sterling just mentioned that. Actually, yes, Han shot first. Not the whole Greedo thing that they changed. Stepping on Jabba, they just didn't even need that Jabba scene in it. It was
They didn't.
I don't
but,
even like
but
the
the
shots.
worst was Jabba the Hutt scene in Return of the Jedi, the dance number. Awful.
Yeah.
Awful. And you took
That was
out some
bad.
of Femi Taylor's scenes, and I will always be very vehemently opposed to that.
And wasn't there a shot for that when they approached
By the way,
TIEs
she's
were
my
approaching,
friend on social media, by the way.
where they approached the Death Star and they added more rebel pilots, and they also do that to try to make it look like a bigger battle. I actually didn't like that because I liked the idea of a sparse, undermanned force taking on a giant like the Death Star.
Yeah. They added
when
more
you-
stormtroopers in the Death Star as well in A New Hope.
Yeah.
Which that one kind of passed. The
That
one
one
that I
didn't
thought
bother
was
me.
okay was the new scenes in Empire. Those were for the most part okay. There were some new scenes in at Hoth, the Battle of Hoth. The shot with the Wampa, being able to actually see the snow creature.
I know the guy who wore that suit.
Do you really?
Yeah. He actually got a vanity plate with Wampa on it. Yeah, he was a model there for a long time. When
That
they
is
redid
awesome.
that. Yeah.
How about that? What is up, Brogu? Good to see you, man. We got a bunch of people. Somebody came in here a second ago when you were gone, Derek, and they were like, first time here, but you guys like the DA, so I'm subscribing. And I'm like, hey, appreciate it, man. I said the DA is family. So,
Yo, this is the beginnings, man. This is where
no, it is not.
Listen, man, I had an itty bitty little channel, and then Coach said, "Hey, why don't you come hang out with us and talk Star Wars?" And then, man, I ain't never left.
Hey,
Yeah,
the day's
this is
coming.
all-
I'm going to call DA up, like, will you help us get our channel going again?
Stop it.
Debbie. Oh, I already read this
already
one.
talked, yeah.
Debbie, we love you. Dan Crane, 3 years of a glorious experience. Please don't wake me up. Hail to the DA. Dan, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. Oh, how about that? Knee pain. This is the guy that Knee Pain was telling us about. The guy that he knows personally that was in the special edition. That was a good shot. It was nice to see the Wampa.
Yeah.
I was kind of glad that the whole sticker scene, the deleted scene, did not make it though, with C-3PO and the Wampas getting on the loose, attacking stormtroopers and killing them, and that was a little far fetched for me. But yeah. Now, okay, I got to ask you a question, guys. Now, I'm checking your Star Wars fandom card right here.
I'm a fake fan anyway, so.
Not the original trilogy. But if you take chat, this is you too, okay? I'm about to lose some serious points here, but I'm doing it. I'm doing it. How do you compare the first 6 Star Wars movies, George's movies, Star Wars all the way through Revenge of the Sith? How do those stand up to the original 6 Star Trek films? I will say it because I am not a big fan of the prequels. From start to finish, I think the Star Trek films are better. But nothing is better than the original trilogy. Nothing. No 3 movies are better. No trilogy.
Are you
is
comparing? You're saying the
I'm
6
saying
Star
on the
Trek
whole. Yeah, because I think the prequels was that much of a step down.
I think the reason is I would
Trek.
Star Trek. I think that it feels like you're talking. It's different in a way because Star Trek had the original cast,
Yes,
in 6 films versus there's different casts that are working. So like I was telling you at the beginning, it felt more cohesive. It felt like, hey, we're telling, it's still Kirk, Spock, it's the same actors and actresses, Uhura, Scotty, Sulu. You got the original cast and they're doing 6 films. So to me, it doesn't feel like it feels like an unfair comparison because in a lot of ways you're right. Those 6 films kind of stand above Star Wars in the 6 films in a way because, listen, the prequels dropped off super hard from the.
That's
from
where
the
I'm at.
Trilogy. The prequels drop off so hard, but it's like they're almost like made by different people in different time frames with different actors, so it's kind of hard to make that comparison, in my opinion. But I still love Star Wars better as a whole. But if I'm being objective, I would probably say, the 6 Star Trek movies slightly better than the 6 Star Wars George Lucas films.
After having just watched them, I would say that it's an easy argument. Star Trek.
You can argue it either way. Yeah.
Yeah, Star Trek to me, the movies 1 through 6 are clearly better to me on the whole. But again, now if we take the prequels out and we're going original trilogy, then that's the gold standard and there's no comparison.
Yeah.
There's no Star Trek was consistently good.
That's
all
what I
the
mean.
way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Consistency. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't really realize that, guys, until I watched it the other day when I was sick. And I'm sitting there watching all 6 of them and I'm like, these are a better watch 1 through 6. Because I thought about watching Star Wars. I thought about going 1 through 6 Star Wars while I was at home sick. Because that's kind of how many of you guys have stayed at home sick and watched Star Wars? All of us have.
All the time.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's been the go-to for my whole life. Well, I didn't do that this time. I watched Star Trek, and it actually was a treat. It really was. I love Star Wars more than Trek, and the prequels are my favorite. I think they're misunderstood films. The prequels are, in my opinion. Yes, I totally understand that, and I do not disagree with that. There's a lot of people.
The prequels honestly got slightly better over time from when I first watched them when they came out. They got better over time. They're still flawed as hell. But
people can hate on Dave Filoni all they want to, and I do. However, the man retroactively made the movies better by giving us a great Clone Wars series. He made those films. He helped me, and George too, and Knee-Pain. Hell, Knee-Pain did too. Helped me love the prequels. Yeah. I went from I'm never watching them again to I watched the Clone Wars, the first 4 or 5 seasons, and I thought to myself, I'm going to go watch the prequels again now. And when I watched it, I realized I love this now.
Yeah,
It's still a step down. It's still not as good on the whole as Star Trek 1 through 6, but it's okay to love something that's not perfect and great, and that's where I am.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, listen, I am a self-professed Jurassic World, fan. I love the Jurassic World films, and I wholeheartedly admit that they are all terrible movies. It's just a guilty pleasure for me.
Yeah.
I love watching those dinosaurs. I love the cast. I love everything about it. And they're terrible movies. The 3 that they've come out with, the Jurassic Park, first one, and then I don't really care about the next 2. But Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, Jurassic World Dominion, love them. And they're terrible movies. All 3 of them are not good movies, but it hits the kid in me and the guilty pleasure. And oh man, I love watching these dinosaurs chase these guys down, and it's hilarious. These action scenes, they're over the top and they're ridiculous. I love it. So there's nothing wrong with loving something that's bad.
Exactly.
I like the first few Fast and the Furious movies, actually.
Yeah,
they got some funny, memorable quotes when they were just street racing, not saving the world and going to space, just driving fast cars. It was fun. Those first few movies were fun. Yeah.
And it's okay to not like something everybody else does. Goonies suck.
Look at this guy, man.
I still got that image I made.
I'm
gonna
sure
make a t-shirt.
You do.
me and Rispman are going to make shirts out of that.
Oh, my goodness.
You got to get a shirt for that one.
Oh, my goodness.
When's the next Echo-based meetup? I know we're not doing it this year. Are we going to meet at Icon next year?
That's the plan.
Okay.
Nick and I are planning on going to the Huntsville Pop Culture Convention.
When is that?
It's in April, so it's way too soon. And
it's too soon.
Nick has decreed it to be an unofficial EBN meetup.
Okay.
We're only going to go for like one day. We're not getting like press passes or anything. We're going as fans, but Shatner's going to be there.
Oh,
and
nice.
So many the celebrities that they have, it's I am not going to say anything. I'm not comparing this to ICCC. ICCC is just as much about the toys as anything else. But the Huntsville Pop Culture Convention, holy crap at the people that are going. So Walter Koenig, who played Chekhov, is going to be there. I don't even know the Star Wars people.
Oh, crap. Okay,
Ashley
they got Ernie
Eckstein.
Hudson. Ernie Hudson's going to be there?
Ernie Hudson, Ashley Eckstein's going to be there. I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
Yeah, they got some nice names there. Zach Levi is going to be there. Priscilla Presley.
Yep.
Okay. Mario Lopez. Yeah, they got some names over there. Okay.
A lot of people.
Yeah, William
Weird
Shatner.
Al is going to be there.
Weird Al. Yeah, I saw Weird Al.
He's great in show. I've seen him in live. It's a great show.
So we're definitely going.
Phil
I'm
Lamar.
going.
Wow.
I'm going to walk around and see people and look at the toys. They're going to have a huge exhibit hall full of toys to go look at and stuff. You guys know. I
Mario
get just
Lopez
as excited
with
about
Berkeley.
that.
There's a little Saved by the Bell reunion going on there.
I've seen that. Yeah.
It is for sure. So now if Kelly Kapowski shows up, woo,
oh, it's on.
I might be taking off work. I'll call in sick for that.
I'll be in Japan for celebration.
Konnichiwa.
So, yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. I've never been out. Well, I've been out of the country. I went to once out of the country to go to the London celebration, and now I'm going to Japan.
Are you sure it's safe for you to go to Japan? All those videos that you made about Yasuke?
Nah, they love me out there, man. They love me. They agree with me. They agree with me. I had so many Japanese folks in the comments saying, thank you for saying this. I was like, okay, cool.
What is up, Tom from Midnight's Edge, who says, I would kapow Kelly.
Woo!
Hey, brother. Good to see you.
I'm looking forward to hanging out in Japan, doing the anime tours. It's a Studio Ghibli tour. That's going to be pretty dope. I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, I'll probably go live while I'm out there at Star Wars Celebration if there's any interesting news that pops off. I doubt it. I think we kind of already know where Star Wars is at right now. But if anything interesting pops off, I'll jump on and say, hey guys, here's what they just told us.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, guys, let everybody know what you got going on as we wind it down here. Thank everybody for joining us. DA, you got a nightcap tonight?
Oh yeah. We got a nightcap tonight, Thursday night nightcap. Come hang out with us. I'm gonna try to get T on. We'll talk some more flat Earth nonsense, dinosaurs that don't exist. But we'll try to jump into these 3 movies. I guess now 4, because the Smurfs is also dropping in July. So which one of these will rule the summer? I think honestly, this is a very big year for the box office. Box office was down year over year from last year. If it doesn't recover this year, and then like Debbie said, Mama Bear said, the following year, because of the fires and all of the displaced Hollywood workers, I don't know where they're not gonna have any movies, really coming out for 26, maybe even 27. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. So I think this is a big year for the box office for a lot of theaters. And that's probably what we're going to discuss. What do the theaters need from the box office this year? They need as many people to go to movies this year as possible, because I have a feeling the way things are trending, theaters are going to pretty soon start closing up. I mean, a lot of them are, and we're probably going to start seeing a lot more movie theaters closing up. And it seems like there's a shift in the way people go and consume media. They're not going to the movies anymore. So I don't know. I'm a little nervous about that, because I'm a big time movie fan, and I don't want to lose the theater going experience, or I don't want the theater going experience to just turn into just nothing but giant blockbusters, and we can't see small movies anymore because they really don't make any money. And everybody says, just put it on Netflix. Let's just put it on streaming.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want that. So anyway, that's probably what we're going to talk about on the nightcap, and along with other shenanigans. So everybody come hang out. It should be fun.
The story of my life, I had invested quite a large amount of money for me in AMC a week before it exploded from $2.50 to $57.
Nice.
And I sold it a week before that happened.
Oh,
So I missed out on all of that.
oh man.
I would have made a couple million. But hey, I've actually done that like 3 times. If you're going to play the market, folks, don't sell. Just hang on to it.
I used to have 3 Bitcoins a long time ago when they were like $800 a piece.
And how much are 3 worth today?
I'm not looking it up.
I don't want to know.
Check this out. So I settled out of court as a 17-year-old. The defendant, they offered me a settlement, a 6-figure settlement from a car accident that I was in when I was 15. I accepted the settlement. I literally had a stockbroker on the phone and was about to buy about $17,000 worth of Marvel that was worth 25 cents a share. 25 cents. Anyways. All right. You got anything going on, N-Pain?
Yeah, and since I'm not really spending time on my channel, it's allowed me to really focus on a couple other channels and
accidentally go live on N-Pain.
Oh, yeah, because I meant to stream to my other channel, and I actually, as I realized I was on the wrong OBS profile, I'm like, oh, well, screw it. No, it's I had one channel I thought was kind of abandoned, and I was looking at the stats because it had less than 100 subscribers, but I had nearly 3,000 view hours. I was like, maybe this is worthwhile. Maybe people are watching it more than I realized. And then other ones brand new, still like less than 20 subscribers, but I've already got like videos that are over 1,000 views. So I guess I make some content some people like. And since I'm not really focused on N-Pain and I'm extremely busy with work and everything else, like this gave me some time to work on it. Because, doing anything on N-Pain was taking away what little time I had.
Yeah. Well, I have 3 channels, and I'm not working on any of them besides this one.
Yeah.
The other 2 I have completely abandoned because I can't. I'm stretched too thin.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm at peace with that, everybody. I wasn't at peace with that for a long time. DA will tell you. We literally talked YouTube non-stop for 3 days. It's an obsession, and it really had a hold of me. I'm in a pretty healthy place now. And we'll get back to making content. EBN's going nowhere. We're branching out. We're not going to just talk Star Wars all the time. Look at the first half of what we talked about today. Fantastic Four, Gremlins, whatever, you know. You have Nick to help out. Come on, Jim. He never shows up. He gets stuck in traffic on a work call, okay? But, you're right. Having my best friend since I was 12 here doing this with him, it's awesome. It makes it fun. It's fun when T shows up and you'll have your live stream. That's part of the identity. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's what EBN will always be at the heart of it all. Nick, tell Manny Jacinto we said hello. Rissman, try not to buy up all the Disney stuff you see. Guys, thank you very much for being here. Like I told you at the top of the show, even though Rissman and Nick are gone, the brains and the good-looking folks are still here. Here we are, all three of us. So thank you, guys. Enjoy
Did you hit them last
MegaCon.
chats, the member chats?
Oh, Dan Crane. Oh, we already hit that one.
Hit that one.
Thanks again, Dan. Tina, using my free member chat. Hi, guys. Hello, Derek. Thank you, Derek, for letting us know. Hello, Tina. Great to see you. I'm so sorry I almost missed this chat. So thanks.
I got your
to
back,
the
Tina.
DA.
I got your back.
It wasn't 100 member gift, but you did let me know. So thank you, Derek. Sodak Chapa. Vegetarian is an old native word for poor hunter. I did not know that. Boy, that's some serious. Oh, I get it. I had to really actually think about it. Got it. That's pretty good there, man. Pretty good. All right, everybody. Well, you are Echo Base Network. Thank you so much for being here with us. We greatly appreciate it, and we will see you guys on the next one. Later, guys.
Bye.
Coach and Nick from Echo Base Network, thank you so much for being here with us tonight at Echo Base TV, where community happens. The Goonies sucks. But if you disagree, that's cool. Hey, you guys! The hardest dude to look at in cinematic history.
I'm going to make those t-shirts.
You know, I bet you look like that guy when you wake up, Nipang.
Yeah, probably. That's why my kids look at
Derek Levin, got him!